Chapter 4 Social Problems. In this chapter, you learn about the following: Problem of child labor, meaning, effects, constitutional provisions; violence on women; dowry, nature, consequences, and measures to remove it; female feticide. As society becomes more and more complex, numerous managerial conflicts sometimes weaken individuals and organizations and push them towards exploitation. These conflicts get expressed as social exploitation and problems of that time. There are some social problems which are the product of modernity. You will get to know about some of them here. The societies of developing countries like India are afflicted with many problems. For example, excessive population, poverty, unemployment, beggary, juvenile delinquency, crimes, problem of child labor, corruption, exploitation of women, dowry harassment, disturbed youth, etc. Let us get to know about a few such social problems. Problem of child labor. According to the Constitution, child laborers are those who are aged below 14 years and work in order to earn money. Normally, the labor undertaken by minor children is called child labor. In many developing countries like India, exploitation and employment of children is a rampant social evil. It is assuming greater proportions year by year. Children below 14 years are being employed in various fields. Majority of the child laborers work in rural areas like fields, farms, and plantations. The rest work in urban and industrial areas. Poverty, domestic conflicts, divorce, domestic violence, excessive control, greed of industrialists, illiteracy, kidnapping of children and pledging them, etc., are the causes for child labor and its increase. Child labor is the result of a serious lacuna in the social system. The people who extract work from children throughout the day do not pay any attention to their mental, emotional, educational, or medical needs. Instead, they harass them physically and mentally. Due to ill health, lack of nutritious food, and proper medical facilities, forced employment, economic and social exploitation, thousands of child laborers are suffering even today. At an age when they should have been playing, daydreaming, or studying, their innocence is snatched away from them by pushing them into employment. The government has decided to take certain measures to free children from employment and exploitation and rehabilitate them. The central government has launched a program called Rehabilitation Welfare Fund of Child Laborers, through which their educational, medical, and fundamental needs can be fulfilled and their exploitation stopped. To prohibit appointment of child laborers, the Child Labor Prohibition and Control Act of 1986 has been enacted. Industrialists who violate this law will have to mandatorily contribute Rs 20,000 per child laborer to the welfare fund. Constitutional provisions. Article 24 of our Constitution declares that employing children below 14 years for work is a cognizable offense. It warns against employing children in hazardous industrial units. Under the directive policies of the state, the government has declared that ensuring the welfare of the children is its responsibility. Do you know this? According to 2011 census, even today there are 12.6 million children who have been forced to work as laborers in houses, factories, and in the agricultural sector. 215 million children all over the world are employed in various fields. The government has undertaken many measures to eradicate child labor. It launched the National Child Labor Project, or NCLP, in 1988. This project is implemented at the state level too. The Departments of Education, Labor, Women and Child Welfare together visit factories and identify child laborers. They rescue the child laborers and provide education, along with all free facilities. Bal Mandirs are being set up for the education of such children at taluk and district levels. These children are being provided with free food, shelter, and other basic necessities. Under the Sarva Shikshana Abhiyan, child laborers in Karnataka are being brought to school under the program from drudgery to school, and they are being given free education. The Right to Education Act of 2009 guarantees compulsory free education to children of 6 years to 14 years. As per this act, 25% seats in private schools are reserved for child laborers, backward class children, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe children, and children with special needs. The Supreme Court has ruled that a child labor rehabilitation welfare fund should be established to protect the human rights and financial interests of child laborers and end their exploitation. The Union government implemented a national policy in 1987 for the welfare of child laborers. In 1988, it launched a project for child laborers' welfare. In 2006, the government brought into force the Child Labor Eradication and Rehabilitation Act. Activity: if any of your friends is a child laborer and stays away from school, bring it to the notice of your teacher. Harassment of women. One of the numerous problems being faced by Indian women is harassment. In spite of their progress in various fields like education, economics, politics, and industry, there is violence inflicted upon women. Rape, violence, suppression, dowry harassment, physical and mental harassment, forced abortions, use of vulgar language, etc. are some of the types of harassment on women, both inside and outside the house. Let us discuss a few problems. Dowry. Dowry is a custom associated with the Indian system of marriage. It is called Varadakshina in Kannada. Vara means a boy of marriageable age. Dakshina is the giving of a gift. It is a gift given to the bridegroom. Any kind of property, jewelry, or gift given to the bridegroom at the time of marriage, either before or after the marriage, is known as dowry. Giving or receiving dowry is a punishable crime. When the bride's family cannot afford to satisfy the bridegroom's demand for money, jewelry, etc., and yet have to struggle to fulfill them, it results in great exploitation. As a consequence, the bride's family will have to face severe financial constraints. In this way, dowry is a social evil tormenting women. In the name of dowry, women are being abused and subjected to violence, torture, and murder. Evil effects of dowry. Dowry diminishes women's self-respect, dignity, and stature. It leads to domestic conflicts. It also creates animosity between husband and wife. Due to this evil, immorality and violence increase. Family relationships suffer. Families of brides get oppressed under financial constraints. Greed for dowry leads to deception in the name of marriage. In order to escape from the dowry menace, people resort to child marriage. Female feticide and female infanticide are on the rise. There are increasing cases of divorce. Measures to eradicate dowry system. Prohibition of Dowry Act 1961. In order to legally eradicate the dowry system, the central government enacted a Prohibition of Dowry Act in 1961. Under this act, marrying under the condition of being provided dowry is prohibited. Those who violate this law are fined Rs 5,000 or sent to jail for 6 months. Sometimes both the penalties are imposed. This act was amended in 1986 and made stricter. According to the amendment, any person who gives, takes, or forces to give dowry can be imprisoned for 5 years and fined Rs 15,000. Dowry deaths have been brought under the purview of Indian Penal Code and Indian Criminal Procedure Code. They can be tried only as non-bailable and non-negotiable offences. Apart from legal measures, encouraging people to become aware, intercaste marriages, Modern mass media, voluntary organizations, and women associations can also help to eradicate this social evil from our society. Female feticide and female infanticide. Among the many problems being faced by Indian women, even in today's modern world, female feticide and female infanticide are the most inhuman. Female feticide. When the fetus is that of a girl and the parents do not want a girl baby to be born, they kill it in the womb itself. This is known as female feticide. Developments in modern medicine enable parents to know whether the fetus is that of a girl or boy through sex determination tests. The desire for a male child leads to misuse of modern technology. Through the help of scanning, people get to know the biological gender of the fetus, and if it is that of a girl and they do not want it, they get rid of it by killing it in the womb itself. Cases of such abortions are increasing in number day by day. Cases of female feticide are rising in number due to reasons like poverty, burden of dowry, illiteracy, ignorance, anti-women attitudes, desire for male progeny, etc. As a result of female feticide, there is a reduction in the number of women, leading to imbalanced gender ratio, gender discrimination, degradation of women. In order to stop sex determination tests of fetuses through modern technology, the Prohibition of Prenatal Gender Determination Test Act was enacted in 1994. In spite of this act, clandestine female feticide is being carried on. Do you know this? According to 2011 census, with the exception of Kerala and Pondicherry, in all the states, the number of women is less than that of men. Please refer to the gender ratio as per 2001 census in the table. Female infanticide. The inhuman practice of killing the female baby after it is born is female infanticide. If the government enacts a prohibitory act to stop shameful activities like female infanticide, the gender ratio between men and women will be equal.